Hello kids, I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to start chapter. So read and enjoy.
Chapter 10 Kapil Dev Read and Enjoy. In 1978, Raj Singh Dungargarpur called me over to discuss the team to go to East Africa. While discussing that team, I remembered an over bowl to me earlier in the seasons in the Wills Trophy. A young lad called Kapil Dev had shown not only enormous potential but also a willingness to learn. I remember telling him in that match that he should come closer to the stumps because his outswinger then would be more effective. Mind you, all that happened when we were playing against each other in the same match. A couple of players from his team rushed to him thinking that I was using a bit of gamemanship to try and make him bowl the wrong line. But that was furthest from my mind because after a long time there was a bowler in Indian cricket team who was promising and fast in the competition, and it is always good fun to play against good bowlers rather than try your ability against lesser fast bowlers. Kapil was a quick learner, and in the next over one could see him making an effort to come closer to the stumps and balls, and as soon as he got that right, it was apparent that he was going to be force in cricket. He bowled extremely well in that match, and with his bowling set us back a great deal and helped his side to win. His side was strong anyway and could have won in normal circumstances. But his was a particularly memorable spell and gave him a lot of prominence and brought him into national focus. This match was at the back of my mind when we set to pick the team to go to East Africa. This was going to be a friendly tour, and the team comprised experienced test players and those who were highly promising. We had included Patodi, Vishwanath, Yuja Arvinder Singh and Eknath Solkar among test stalwarts. Among the youngsters were Kapil Dev and Suru Nayak. The two were picked to get some experience of foreign conditions, which would help them considerably playing abroad against an opposition which is different, under different conditions, with different bowlers and different players, come in handy at all times and goes a long way towards making one a best cricketer. Kapil did well on this trip. He was not only the bowler who got us vital break through but also a magnificent batsman who hit many a towering six and won the hearts of East Africa cricket lovers. One noticed on this trip how Kapil improved match by match, and towards the end of the tour in 3-day game against the strongest East African side, he was well nicked unplayable. After the team returned to India, Kapil was selected to play for the rest of the India in the Irani Trophy match at Bangalore. It was a trial game before the team tours to Pakistan was selected. Kapil scored a hurricane 61 and bowled most impressively, and thus found a berth for himself in the side to go to Pakistan. Although even at that stage it was doubtful if he would really find a place for himself in the test team. It was thought that the tour would give him a lot of experience, and so when the West Indies team came to India later that season, Kapil could be very useful. However, his performance in Pakistan in the beginning was such that he could not be ignored, and he was picked for the first test at Faisalabad. It was a good trip which afforded a fair amount of bounce to the new ball bowlers, and in the first few overs Kapil forced Sidin to discard his green Pakistan cap for a helmet. As it turned out, it was a wise move, and in the next over a bouncer from Kapil hit Sidin flush on the helmet and went away for 4 bites. With that one delivery, Kapil had proved that he could not be taken lightly in Test cricket and India. After a long time, had a bowler who could use the new ball to bowl with fire. Thereafter, there was no stopping Kapil. He scored 59 as a night watchman and that earned the tag of an all-rounder. He confirmed this later in the season when he scored a century against the West Indies. The only time the tag of an all-rounder did not fit him was on the 1979 tour of England when this dynamic cricketer failed with the bat. He bowled with his customary fire and efficiency in the test matches and also in other matches, but somehow failed to get the runs. He used to get out in his eagerness to hit the ball in the air rather than take this time and play his shots. This, of course, was solely due to inexperience, which was amply proved on the 1982 tour of England when he scored 300 runs in 3 test matches. After that 1978 tour, it has been a case of rising career graph. He is now reckoned to be one of the all-rounders in the world, if not the topmost. People talk about Imran Khan, Ian Botham, Kapil Dev and Richard Hartley as the leading all-rounders in the world. It is indeed difficult to pick the best among them all. But one thing is sure, any captain would love to have all 4 of them on his team and win a match because all of them are attacking cricketers, all of them have put in sterling performance, all of them performed under pressure and proved that they have the flamboyance and the ability to take on any opponent at any given time. Picking the best players out of them is basically a subject of extensive exercise, and there would always be people who would agree with you and also disagree with you on the merits and demerits of each. In Kapil's case, he has the disadvantages of not having a strike bowler along with him, which means that the entire pressure of taking wickets is entirely on him. The opponents also know that since he is the only player capable of running through the sides, they are extra careful while playing him, and thus he does not always capture the kind of wickets that is expected of him. Also during Kapil's time, the Indian batting has not been consistent, with the result that he has hardly time to take off his bowling boots and put on his batting shoes before he is called to go in for the rescue act. This had undoubtedly put a lot of pressure on Kapil, and it has at times made him play some loose shots, which have brought about his early dismissal. But with greater experience and added responsibility after becoming the captain, such shots have become rare and will definitely contribute to a consistent performance in future. And I am convinced that if Kapil had more experience, the 1979 Oval Test, which we drew and did not win, falling short by 9 runs, could easily have been won. Kapil went there prompted in batting order, and the first delivery itself he turned to whack out of the ground and ended up being caught at long on. Today, the same Kapil would have snatched a few runs in singles and got his legs moving, then had a good look at the bowling and played his shots. He could have certainly taken India to that incredible victory. There's no place for ifs and buts in cricket, and one only lives in a dream. What if one tries to think what would have happened if it was this way or that way? Kapil's greatness trims, however, has been leading India to win the Presidential World Cup in June 1983. Nobody could have dreamed that India, so often the underdog in one-day cricket, could have ended as winners. But Kapil led by example in the game against Zimbabwe when 5 Indian wickets had gone for 17 runs to a mixture of good bowling and poor strokes. Kapil went out and played an inning that is truly unforgettable. His first 70 to 80 runs were really calculated in the sense that he pushed and nudged the ball and only hit those which he was convinced should be hit. After that, he had enough confidence, and when he saw that he had partners who would stay with him, he launched a counter-attack the like of which one had never seen before. It was absolutely unbelievable stuff. He was hitting the bowlers as it at will, and we are applauding each and every shot. Our hands become weary, but each shot was absolutely thrilling. When he was around 160, we all had our hearts in our mouth. We knew that the record score of 171 was so near, and perhaps Kapil was not aware of it. And in his anxiety to get many runs as possible, he would perhaps play an ambitious shots and get out. It was obvious at this stage that he was a tired man and might hit a tired looking shot and get out. but fortunately he did not do that and went on to make 175 not out, which is a record in the Prudential World Cups. Then he came on to bowl 4 overs of 5 medium pace and did not give Zimbabwe players any respite at all. That was the turning point of the tournament, and thereafter the Indian team went from strength to strength and took in their side Australia, England and the West Indies. With this win, Kapil had become a household name not only in India but all over the world where cricket is played. His grinning face, holding the Prudential trophy with sheer joy stamped on it, has become as memorable as the win itself. His brothers have started a hotel and named it after Kapil. Hotel Kapil is a tribute to him from his brothers for all the glory he has brought to India and to the family name. His success has given encouragement and impetus to thousands of youngsters all over the country and not only in metropolitan cities. This will act as a spur to many youngsters to give their best in international cricket. Kapil's advent in international cricket is the best thing that could have happened to Indian cricket because we had spinners who earned a name for themselves and the country, but there never was a fast bowler to lift the country's prestige so high in the past. With Kapil's example before them, boys in the streets were walking to their names purposely, coming in from a distance and hurting the ball quickly at the opposing batsman. Today's cricket is jet age cricket when speed is more important than subtleties to spin, and speed follows the batsman wherever he goes. And with the cricketers like Kapil Dev to inspire the youngster, more and more of the younger lot will take to fast bowling, and it will be for the good of Indian cricket. And even if all of them cannot make the test grade, at least they will be able to provide adequate practice to a batsman so that they are not found wanting when facing the fast bowlers of other countries. Kapil's brand of cricket is also the attacking brand which makes him a crowd puller wherever he goes. It will certainly go a long way towards ensuring that the cricket India plays is the kind of cricket which will bring in the crowds. No longer will Indian cricket and Indian cricketers will be called dull dogs, as was the case in the early 50s, and people will came to believe that the Indian cricket team can play attractive cricket. It has been a rapid rise for a lad who batted at number 11 in East Africa to came to the fore as one of the leading all-rounders in the world. Kapil, to this date, remains the same simple fellow that he was in 1928, with of course a lot more confidence in dealing with people that he had in 1978. The confidence came as he gained more success in international cricket, but with this confidences and with this success, his attitude towards people has not changed. He is still polite, courteous to the senior cricketers and is prepared to listen everyone. These characteristics have been difficult to find in recent years, and Kapil is richly endowed with these along with his many splendorous cricketing talent that God Almighty has showered on him. He is still 24 and has years and years of test cricket ahead of him. And I am confident these years will be the years when the standard of Indian cricket team will keep arising and reach heights unheard of before.